Hey guys, it's Jessii Vee, and I have a confession to make. I'm literally in pajamas right now. Like literally, look at my pants. Look at them. It's because these are Halloween pajamas, so I figured they kind of go with the theme. So I'm actually very comfy in today's video. I love it. I got jack-o'-lanterns and cats all over me. So definitely in the Halloween spirit over here. Before I even get into the topic of today's video, we have to have a doll update because a lot has happened over the weekend. As you guys know, a doll arrived at my house. She was leaving clues everywhere, and you guys helped me solve those clues. Turns out that the doll maker legend that I told on this channel a week ago actually came true. So that witch I was talking about, I think found out that I did a video about her and thousands of people watched. And so basically I was her next victim. She was coming for me. She wanted to put my soul into a doll to become her daughter. So the doll came to my house to warn me. We found out her name was Jessiline. And if you actually want to find out the answers to all of her clues, definitely go check out the video that we just posted on my vlog channel. In short, all of her clues led up to tell me how to release the souls from the dolls, and we actually did that at midnight. It was terrifying. The doll lit up. It was literally hovering in the air. All the souls came out of it. If you want to see all of that action, definitely check out the vlog. I will link it down below. In all serious though, it was so much fun immersing myself in this story to give you guys this content over the last few days. Like a lot of people guessed, it was an ARG, which is sort of a fictionalized story that we put together. But obviously to me, Jessiline is extremely real. She's so real, in fact, that you guys now have the opportunity to take her home. I have made it so that there is a Jessiline doll for everyone, and she wants to keep you guys safe from the witch. So I'm gonna put the Jessiline doll link down below in the description for you. And here's a really cool trailer for her.
In an enchanted realm, an oddity stirs, beckoning the curious. Meet Jessiline, once ensnared, now awakened, waiting to be yours.
This is honestly the most exciting thing I have ever done. I partnered with a company called Inviz, and having a magical plushie like this with button eyes is so cool. I'm literally living out my Coraline dream. There is also spooky stickers on the website. So there's like a Jessiline plushie sticker. There's all kinds of different ones that, you know, are Halloween vibes, spooky vibes. And I've actually decided to put together a mini sort of contest for the Jessiline doll. So to enter to win the contest, you just have to purchase the Jessiline doll, and you have to post a picture of her on Instagram and tag me in it before November 1st. And your picture just has to be creative in some way. It could be a cool selfie that you do with Jessiline. It could be a picture of her somewhere in your house doing something strange. Maybe she's drawing a picture. Maybe she's in front of a forest. It almost reminds me of Elf on the Shelf. Like, take a picture of Jessiline doing something really cool. And obviously it's extra awesome if you're in the picture with Jessiline as well. And I'll be announcing the winner on November 1st. So if you get the doll now, that gives you enough time to receive her and take a picture with her. And the prize is going to be a backdrop. And this backdrop is actually of the witch's forest. So it's a super magical vibe. I'm gonna put a full picture of it here. It's a little smaller than the backdrops that I usually have, so it's perfect for your room. Like, these look so good over top of your bed or anywhere on the wall in your bedroom. And myself and Jessiline will be signing the back of it. And you will also receive all of Jessiline's drawings and clues, which is so cool. I'll make sure to sign all of these as well. But yeah, if you guys would like a Jessiline plushie, I have linked it down below. And thank you guys so much for all of your support. You have all been so fun and interactive over the weekend, just commenting and sending in your clue ideas. And that's why I love including you guys in new projects like this. So thank you guys so much.
Dive into Jessie's treasure trove, where every piece speaks mysteries. Jessie's oddities beckon. Get yours today.
Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Laff in the Dark ride. I actually just found out about this creepy story about a week ago. Someone was talking about it on TikTok, and it's basically about a Funhouse prop back in the 70s that turned out to be a real life body. It is so disturbing, so creepy. So let's just jump right into it. And by the way, this is a true story, like this actually happened, so get ready. Back in the 70s, there was a ride called Laff In The Dark at the New Pike Amusement Park in Long Beach, California. The ride was basically a funhouse that was filled with haunted house characters like skeletons, ghouls, creepy animatronics, etc. Well, one day this film crew took over the ride for a TV show they were filming called The $6 Million Man, and they wanted to get a shot of Steve Austin on this spooky ride. But when one of the film crew members went to move this hanging body from the ceiling that they obviously thought was just a prop or a decoration, the arm actually broke off as he was moving it. And at first he was like, okay, like no big deal, it's just a prop, it's probably made out of like paper mache. Well, he went to glue it back on to fix his mistake, but then he noticed that there was actual bone and tissue inside of it. It was not plastic, it was not paper mache, it was a real human body. Now, I couldn't even imagine how scary it would have been making that discovery. Now, obviously, law enforcement showed up. They had no idea who this body belonged to, so they took x-rays and bone measurements and examined his teeth to determine his identity, and they couldn't get fingerprints because his hands were so damaged. And what's weird is that inside of his body, they found 3 things. They found a bullet, a penny, and a museum ticket. And the ticket is what actually led them to discovering his identity. So the man's name was Elmer McCurdy, and he was born in Maine in 1880. This is a photo of him when he was alive, obviously. I'm not going to be showing you anything like disturbing or, you know, a picture of what was found in the funhouse. I wouldn't do that to you guys. But he wasn't what you would call the nicest man, and he was actually known for robbing trains. That's actually how he eventually died. In 1911, he robbed a train of $46 and 2 jugs of whiskey, and they found him hiding in a barn near the Kansas border and died in a shootout with police. And as he was being chased by the police, he yelled back at them, "You'll never take me alive!" And he was right. He was definitely right. And because when he died, he was so far from home, no family members came to pick up his body from the funeral home. So the mortician, because the body was just left alone, no one came for it, he decided to make a business out of Elmer's body. He basically propped it up in the corner of his shop and charged people 5 cents to see the bandit who wouldn't give up. That's what he called the body. And people would put coins into McCurdy's mouth where the mortician collected it later. And it was just a true moneymaker, and he did this for about 5 years straight. Many people even made him offers to buy the body off of him, but he always refused. And the reason the body lasted so long without getting like all gross and stuff is because this mortician made sure he was very, very well preserved. So well preserved, in fact, that the body was basically mummified. Well, in 1915, 2 men who were carnival promoters decided to get very creative with a lie. They went to visit this mortician and pretended to be Elmer's brothers and told him that they wanted to take him home for a proper burial. And obviously this mortician had no other choice than to send him home with his family. But these carnival promoters were awful. They took him back to Texas, where they basically did the same thing the mortician was doing. They displayed his body and made money off of him. I don't know who in their right mind would go and pay money to see a mummified body. It just doesn't make sense to me, but people were just doing that back then. And for the next 50 years, his body was exhibited in carnivals around the country, and it began to lose its identity. It went to wax museums, freak shows, etc. And at one point in the 60s, it was an accidental horror movie prop in a movie called She Freak. And then obviously lastly, it ended up in the funhouse called Laff In The Dark. Elmer McCurdy's final performance was the one that brought him the most fame. He had been hung from the ceiling by a noose dressed as a cowboy, which is an ironically appropriate role for the former outlaw. And the day the crew worker who was working on the $6 Million Man TV show broke off his arm, the media just buzzed with this story because obviously people were so shocked that a mummy had actually been on a ride the whole time. But in a way, it was kind of good because then it was actually able to be found out who he was. The police actually investigated it, because if this never happened, his body could have still been in there like forever until it just like fell apart and no one ever knew. And by the way, I even found a fact that the people in the funhouse painted his body a bright neon orange so that he glowed in the dark. So when people were going through the ride, he would stand out. It's so creepy to me. Anyways, at least this was a solved case, like I said. And if you guys want me to do more stories like this, give this video a thumbs up and let me know. But yeah, don't forget, if you'd like a Jessii doll, I have linked her down below. This is so exciting. She's gonna protect you from the witch, and definitely enter to be in the contest. I'm so excited about that as well. And I feel like even if you don't win that, I'm still gonna show a bunch of people's creative photos on here. I'm so excited. But yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Children lost, ensnared by a witch's binding spell. Jessii, the awakened soul, yearns to escape and find a new home. Dare you join her and explore more?